The city feels quieter tonight, even though it's a little bit excited by the Myer windows open for the first weekend in November. Myer does Christmas windows for the last 70 years. I went to my first one in 1973 when I was a baby, and my second one was 1974. I went to one in 1982 and 83, and I've been going to each one since I moved back to Melbourne in 2017, so I've seen the last 8 years worth. They're great little Christmas windows. So Melbourne Bourke Street Mall is usually full of motion on a Saturday afternoon evenings. It's just turning into night time here. But it did slow down because today, on Saturday, is the coldest November ever since 1913. The top temperature for today was only 12 degrees, but when I'm filming it's only 11 degrees at the moment, so it's quite cold. It's very cold. So the Myer Christmas windows glow warm and alive.
He smiles as he marks with his jolly bright pen. The elves deck up with an magic cheer and applause. The elves sit in the shed making joy for the year. With sparkle and sawdust and paint by the tub. They tinker and tap.
They cast their colour across the wet pavements of the Bourke Street Mall. People gather, faces lit in the soft storybook hues with these Lego Christmas windows. This year's Myer windows are Legos. Every tram that's sliding past through the mall is causing reflections on this wet pavement. It's just like drizzle all day. It's a nice wet day. And the trams are stitching those lights back together. It's a very strange feeling. Christmas lights in the cold. Australia, we associate Christmas with hot days and barbecues and heat waves. Not the coldest day like July. The city does look more like July than November right now. The breaths are rising from the strangers under flickering lights, and lots of people using those vapours, and that's not good for the children watching the Lego windows. People are not thinking about the health of the children. But the laughter of children watching these Lego Christmas windows are pressing their hands to the glass. Parents are smiling through the rain, and strangers are just nodding. Everyone's in a nice Christmas mood. It's not about Christianity. We have Christians, Muslims, atheists, Hindus. Everybody just comes in to just watch these Christmas windows, because they're celebrating using Legos this year. It's moments like this that make Melbourne feel like it's a great memory that's still unfolding from my whole 52 years. The ground glistens. It's a moving mirror. Tram lights are smearing into the ribbon's shopfront shimmer. We've got new shops on opposite the windows of the Myer. So those windows opposite are the Mecca perfume building and the JD Sports Superstore have just opened up this year, so they've got lights. So we've got light reflections on both sides of the mall. Tram lights smear through ribbons with those windows. It's puddles. There's neon signs around rippling and fading. LED lights everywhere. So every reflection feels alive, as if the city is dreaming of itself. So that's when I thought I would just go back and do some monochrome photos and capture some July white monochrome photos. So you'll see some photos on here that I shot in monochrome. And I shot some photos in vintage mode as well, just to be a bit reflective like old film photos. You'll spot those in this video. Because every reflection tonight is just reminding me of the joy that traces back through my life. It's like a great memory moment that's just passed through. Christmas does always feel like that, a reflection of time. You always remember things that have happened over the years. Every year the same carols, the same windows, the same stories get retold, but they're always different. You can have Disney in there, you can have anything in those Myer windows. They're unique each year. So as we grow older, we grow wiser. We get a little bit softer maybe as we get older, some people don't. And some faces we used to see beneath these same lights are no longer here, so you do remember the days when your father or your family was holding your hand watching these windows growing up. Laughter lingers in the glow of the Myer windows, in the light that spills across the mall, in the gentle hum of the trams. Trams never stop moving. That tram line runs for nearly an hour with trams on it, and it's the longest tram line in the world, that one. So a family's pausing at the window. Parents point out things that are dancing little Legos. Lego is quite unique in there, but it's quite good. And it's narrated as well. It's just a moment of time that freezes for children, and their imagination start thinking things they can make with Legos as well. Every small child, like myself was, they always return here as an adult. And you do remember the night that you saw the glass memories, and you do remember your family that are no longer there. So as trams still passing, lights still shimmering on wet ground. It's a beautiful little place. It would be nice if there were some grass areas and some plant trees in there, but it's all about shopping and retail therapy. But at this one time of the year, the retail therapy gets pushed aside, and those windows become for children and adults to look at Legos and think about Christmas. So at this beautiful place, it does hold fragments. Even the shop next door at David Jones had Wicked, the new movie that's coming out in November. And we do have a nativity scene in here as well. A few windows I couldn't film tonight because the homeless are huddled up against the warmth of the glass. And I respect the homeless, so I don't film them. So that's the beauty of this place. It holds fragments of Melbourne. It holds fragments of all our lives. Even some people who are just new to the city will start to build memories, but for me, it's layers of decades, 5 decades of coming to these windows. It's the footsteps that are now ghostly footsteps, footsteps of time, footsteps of relatives that are long gone. And of course it's the reflections. LEDs are everywhere now. They weren't when I was a child. But the Burke Street Mall never forgets. We have the H&M building, which is the first head post office in Melbourne. Every hour, the post office bells strike on the clock tower. So from across the mall, the post office clock tower is ringing out. The tram bells are trying to roll through the mist, and every tram bell tries to answer with a bright feeling. So it's like tram bells competing with a clock tower. There's no buskers tonight. It was too cold for the buskers. They're further into the city where all the little warmth cafes are tonight to stay warm. It's only the rhythm of the rain, which is just a light drizzle, and it's just raining against a few umbrellas, and it's always the rumble of the trams making all the noise in there tonight, and the nice chatter from all the people at the windows. So each bell feels like a note in the city, and it plays it for those who are listening closely. Melbourne is wrapped in rain, and it's humming softly to itself. Sometimes the brightest reflections remind us of these long walking beside us. You know, the parents that are no longer here. We see absence in space between lights, and in the pause, we see tram doors close in the silence, and then the bells. But maybe, just maybe, they're part of the reflection too. Because every beam of light that touches us has somehow touched someone else before. And in that way, we're all still connected. We're still shining, and we're looking through one another. So as day slips into night and the night deepens, the mall stays bright. These lights will be on for another 4 hours. The Myer windows keep telling their story. Mecca keeps shining. The joys in the family of wonder. As I say, it's not about religion. It's about a community building and everybody actually just celebrating with their families as the years are coming to an end. And we stand here, strangers together, everyone's united by the same glow. So maybe that's a quiet gift of this season, the light that reaches us, even though the rain, even though the time, and even though it's cold. Because every reflection, every shimmer, every glint, especially on the tram tracks, is reminding us that love leaves light behind, and tonight Melbourne is glowing with love. Stay safe, people.